This year's edition of the Chicago Architecture Biennial, called The Available City, is focused on city-owned vacant lots and their potential as collective space. And we're looking at that within 5 neighborhoods: North Lawndale, Pilsen, Inglewood, Woodlawn, and Bronzeville.
We are coming out of 2020 and all the challenges that both COVID-19 pandemic and civil unrest and how they impacted our community, especially in the south side of Chicago.
And we're working with community organizations in each one of those neighborhoods to develop a collective space. And those organizations have been working in collaboration with a designer for the development of their space.
We started out in April with the community garden as leverage for the Overton Exchange. Social services, to give away food, to bring in community organizations to really kind of promote the work that they're doing here.
Food distribution during COVID, diaper distribution, community gardens, rain gardens. These are things that impact our community every day. It makes us think about things in a very creative way. What we're trying to do is try to think about the permanency of this, not just here, but in the other neighborhoods around Chicago and the rest of the country, the rest of the world. We have the same challenges every place. The Biennial is shining a real light on it that's allowing us to think about it in a much bigger way.
Allowing us to be able to really kind of tell new stories, begin to bring in folks from outside of the community and allow members of the community to tell their story through this installation is an opportunity that we just couldn't really pass up.
The land belongs to Project Hood organization. We're working on building a future community center.
Construction is well underway. We're going to have one area being like a stage and like interactive space.
We not only expect for performances and youth programming to happen, but also church services.
We really want to like shine light on who's here, who's working, what type of partnerships can come to fruition as the project or community is like coming to life.
The exhibition part will become an educational component for people that might not know about the rich history that's already here, in particular the youth. We really want them to understand the beauty and the value that has been here and how they can add to that.
While the Biennial is really focusing on a few sites, it really is speculation and reflection on all of the city-owned lots. They number in total just over 10,000, and they're primarily on the south and west sides. What can be the impact of those spaces on each of the neighborhoods, as well as what can be the impact on the city as a whole when you begin to think of those as a landscape?
We are upgrading. We are revitalizing, we are repurposing this space in a way that fits and serves the community that has been using this space for easily over 30 years.
Part of having the lot is just being kind to our neighbors. So if it's something that they would like to see and be a part of, it's a no-brainer.
With the youth in the summer program, we created a bunch of different ideas, and from those ideas, we came to a collective decision.
As you see here, we see the lovely design, co-design with the students, mixed in with some of the architectural design of Outpost Office, Studio Barns, a play system, that our students help build these modular boxes as well.
Bring attention to the core. We wanted people to feel safe. We wanted them to come out to just have fun and enjoy themselves without worrying about, violence.
This project is important. It's made for the community to come together to know one another and help each other out.
To me, it felt as if the students really protected the integrity of the community's presence in this space. And I think sometimes that's missed when you have new development that comes into a community like North Lawndale. And the students were instrumental and really held to honoring the past.
So the project on the site behind us is called the Living Room, and it's a pavilion that the Bitter Tank Farm have designed for CCA.
So we're in our 43rd school year, always have been located in North Lawndale.
I really love North Lawndale. There are so many wonderful community members and community partners and organizations here. We seem to be really good at helping each other and working together.
So there was a lot of discussion about poverty, obesity. We began the discussion of a food forest where kids in the community and adults could come get fresh fruit and fresh produce.
In terms of what the project is meant to do, to really tie into the permaculture techniques that have been implemented here in this park, the way that the kind of natural habitat in this area is meant to all kind of tie in together.
We wanted to have a pavilion, a space where community could come, artists, students, they could perform, they could be heard, and it also provided for our students hands-on project-based experience so that they can learn the whole nourishing cycle, taking care of the earth taking care of us, and taking care of the community.
People have an idea of what a community garden is. When they hear El Paseo Community Garden, they immediately ask what we grow, and we've really grown beyond that. The possibilities of a community garden, of a community managed space are endless. So right now there's just an open lot. We're facilitating a community design process to build out that lot in over 3 years. So this year we have 2 partners hosting 2 installations. One is Studio Obsidiana installation that's made out of concrete that will host a couple of game tables, a grill, and some seating. The second installation we're hosting is by Outpost Office. They're working collaboration with our concept designs and proposal for our site. Really excited because this is really checking a lot of boxes that we already wanted for this area.
The ambition for the Biennial is a very different one. It really is to begin to demonstrate how the Biennial can actually become a participant in the making of the city.
A group of residents and stakeholders of North Lawndale came together to restore the Central Park Theater, to bring it back to the glory that it has.
The Central Park Theater is 104 years old this year.
I tell people, when you look at a vacant lot, you're not looking at a vacant lot, you're looking at people, you're looking at history. So imagine what was there before it happened.
That kind of history, no matter the scale, is a part of our fiber and our very being.
Oh, this is gonna just be awesome. Architect Manuel Hurst is gonna come in and help us redesign that parking lot. It's also going to help the community bring back their history.
Everybody came from all over the city of Chicago, because this was the place to be. I can remember coming in as a teenager in 66, 68, slipping in, watching movies. And the last movie they played here was The War Wagon with John Wayne. It was a grand time.
The way I look at it, a community builds a neighborhood, and a neighborhood builds the city.
We're really focusing on what does it mean to preserve and conserve, in particular spaces where Black people live and Black spaces, and that starts with the land and the concept of ownership and stewardship of the land. And so the Biennial's been able to come with this pairing with Attilio Bow Wow, and we're building out the outdoor seating area, gathering space, so that community can have a space to break bread. Library that we have in one of the container units. What we're working towards is, how do we create Black futures here? Why do people want to call this space home? Inglewood has such a beautiful fabric of families that make up this community. So it's never just a binary conversation. There's a lot of layers to this wild onion. And so it's apropos that we call it Chicago. It is a wild onion for sure.
If anything, the Available City is about providing a particular set of neighborhoods, those that have the high number of vacant lots, which to me are emblems of their being underserved and under-resourced, providing them with the opportunity to really articulate what they think their neighborhood could be.
To be able to bring beauty and intention back to these vacant lots, I'm hoping that, this is the start of a really, really great conversation around different ways to utilize these spaces.
But let's be clear, the Available City, it's only existing because of all the racism. The only reason we have all this vacant land, these vacant buildings, is because resources have been continuously extracted from our communities, from our Black and brown communities for decades. So I think bringing that to the forefront of the narrative is very important.
With these projects, with these dialogues that are happening from site to site and that are happening globally, if we get it right, it can be a prototype of like how things can be done.
When I hear the word available, I want everyone to think that, it's available for them. It doesn't matter if you're this or that, or if you're this color, that color. I feel like it's just for everyone.
The Available City project gives the community, and especially me, a chance to tell the world, hey, look at me. Look who I am. Look what I represent. I am Chicago.